Good morning, Podmates. Welcome to our podcast. The COVID-19 pandemic has brought a lot of challenges, struggles, and has truly affected all aspects of life, particularly the education. So, before we continue, I want to introduce our team Padayon. I am Mylene De Perea, 18 years of age, Bachelor of Elementary Education student at Padayon Peninsula State University.
Hello, Padayoners! I am Annalyn Di Malenta, 26 years old, an elementary education student at Bataan Peninsula State University.
Good day, I am Lindsay B. Bailon, 21 years old, student at Bataan Peninsula State University, taking off Bachelor of Elementary Education.
And I am Rochelle Punla, 18, taking Bachelor of Elementary Education, also at the same school with them, which is BPSU. Welcome to the Team Padayon podcast.
Welcome everybody to a conversation about effects of COVID-19 pandemic in the Philippine education.
So, how are your studies during this pandemic?
Well, I am fine. My studies are going well despite of the crisis brought by pandemic.
I am fine as well, trying my best to cope up with a lot of new normal.
Me as well. I am keeping myself optimistic and driven despite of all the challenges and struggles.
Well, I'm so glad to hear you all doing fine and well. Keep it up! Anyways, let's talk about the effects of COVID-19 pandemic in our country's education in the Philippines.
Well, we all know our country has decided to close schools, colleges, and universities due to the COVID-19 scare, and for the safety of everyone, and even then things are not going to be the same. There are no face-to-face classes and sessions until everyone is assured of the safety of students and teachers. Or I think until vaccine is available.
Despite of the pandemic, we all believe that schooling can continue even from home. So, our government has implemented a distant or remote learning program for all schools to help stop the spread of coronavirus. A method that delivers the lesson through different ways, including printed materials, online, television, and radio. Universities and colleges are also shifted to alternatives or remote teaching modalities, both synchronous and asynchronous, affecting many students.
I think our new education system brought mixed reactions from students because personally, I heard from my cousins who are schooling that it is much better that they are in school with their teacher because they will learn better than at home. They cannot understand the lessons well and that they prefer the traditional classroom setting, while others said they will still learn if they will really focus on their studies, and many more reactions that I heard personally from my relatives who are schooling.
One of the effects also is that many students and parents may need to be spending more time and money on their children's education, especially if students need to go online study regularly. Especially that many people lost their income and their job is affected because of the pandemic. Additionally, that their children need their supervision, so they need to be flexible and jungle working, managing the home, and supervising their children learning at home. And in some instances, they may need to quit or take a leave on their job to focus on the education of their children.
Yes, you are right, Miss Annalyn. Also the fact that students and teachers had to access electronic devices and strong internet connection for online classes. It is also the fact that students had limited access to computers or unreliable access to the internet, which teachers and students are really struggling.
And I think in some instances, these modalities of learning become unsustainable because some cannot attend classes online or cannot comply to requirements because of the uneven socio-economic status of students affected their access to these modalities of learning during pandemic.
I also wanted to share that one of the effects of COVID-19 pandemic in education is also the limited effectiveness of distance learning, because given that limited access internet and gadgets, the child's inability to focus and stress due to coronavirus pandemic were among the barriers to effective learning.
I agree with that, Maylene. I also want to add with that limited effectiveness of learning is that despite the availability of various modalities for learning, mostly of students in lower education use modulars or the paper-based modules as their primary modality for distance learning. Modular can be as effective as other mode for learning is properly used, but students may find using modular difficult than other modules in the absence of close guide and supervision by teachers, family, and peer support.
While there are a lot of negative impacts due to the COVID-19 pandemic, it has also made us adopt many new ways, learning, experience, and positive effects. In the absence of being able to go out due to the COVID-19, students engage in various activities at home like drawing, painting, gardening, baking, and more that the students have learned in the pandemic. You know, all of this may contribute to the overall development of students.
The pandemic has drawn attention and given importance of mental health. Not being able to go to school and go out may have been significant changes in the behavior of our children. This has led many parents to become concerned over their child's mental health and well-being. And it is important to prevent mental health issues.
And one of the positive effects, as well as rise in collaborative work and rise in blended learning, the COVID-19 pandemic has brought a new world full of dilemmas, challenges, struggles, as well as opportunities. It is up to all of us to adapt, overcome, and transform dilemmas, challenges, and struggles into opportunities for growth, development, and progress for ourselves, nation, and the world we are living in.
That is all for today, Podmates and Padayoners. Thank you so much for listening. Again, I am Padayoner Annalyn Dimalanta.
I am Padayoner Lindsay B. Bailan.
I am Padayoner Rochelle Punla.
And I am Padayoner Mylene Di Perea. Thank you so much for listening.